What's up, everybody? What's going on? It's your boy Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. Hey, listen, I want to have a quick live feed with you guys to discuss something that I know a lot of people do it, but not do it. And I don't say I'm against it because I've done it myself, especially recently. That's being a cash out refinance. But a lot of times people do a cash out refinance and they probably put themselves in a position where they've pulled out too much of their equity, or this is probably the most important part, they don't have actually a plan on what they're going to do with their equity. You hear people all the time, so I'm going to refinance my mortgage, I'm going to take some of the money out of my mortgage, and I'm going to do A, B, and C. And it's something different when you get a 30, 40, 50, $100,000 check in your hand, and all those smart ideas that you had planned that you were going to do with that money, start your business, fix your house, take care of your kids' education, go out the window because you want to start cruising, you want to start shopping, and you want to start doing all kind of stuff. And before you know it, all the damn money you had is gone, and you've taken the bulk of your equity out of your home. Okay. Again, so today you're having a quick discussion and don't blow all your home equity. Before we start off, guys, again, I am Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. You know, Mr. Short Dollar, we talk about personal finance, business, entrepreneurship, and investing. One of the things that, especially when we're looking at right now, what's going on in the market, everybody know we're in this state of hyperinflation, where you've had hyperinflated or overpriced properties in the real estate market, and a lot of people have kind of with the rates going up, that's the Federal Reserve have stepped in and increased rates, which is pretty much the cost to borrow. And usually the reason being, if you guys don't know, the reason why the Fed steps in and increases rates is to slow down people's interest in buying real estate. And because people's interest in buying real estate, because it costs too much to borrow, that makes the price of the homes decrease because you have less people interested, and that brings down the prices. That's the government's way of trying to curb inflation. With that said, you guys know home equity is pretty much the difference, the value, the market value of a home minus whatever difference that you owe in a home. So again, if you have easy example, if you have a market value being what people will purchase your home for, being $100,000, but you have a loan for $50,000, you have $50,000 in equity. Okay, that's pretty much in a nutshell. And as time goes on, we know in real estate, typically the value increases. So the house that you may have have a value of $100,000, it may go to $150,000 in 5 to 10 years, and that balance is decreasing. So now you have a home with a value of say $150,000, but you have a loan balance of $30,000. So now you're looking at I'm about to forget my dang math. 150. Now you're looking at God, I've been adding all day long. I apologize. $80,000 in equity. It's been a long day, y'all. Y'all please forgive me. But those kind of things will happen, that the value increases in relation to that. It's been a long day. Y'all know I'm an accountant by profession, so I have the brain cramps myself. But theoretically, that's what we're talking about home equity. The difference between the market value of what your house is valued at in relation to the amount you owe on your home loan. So we start looking at we start talking about refinance or cash out refinance. That's where a lender, either person you got the lender company you have the loan with, or you can go to a new lender. They'll give you opportunity to refinance the loan, pull some of the equity out, and give you a whole new loan. So let's go with an example of that. What I mean by that, just say if you owe $50,000 on that home, they'll let you refinance that house at 80% of the value of the home. So we have a home valued at $100,000. 80% of that is $80,000. If you owe $50,000, they would let you refinance the home at 80, give you a new mortgage for 80, even though you owe 50, and you just have to pay the 50 off, and that $30,000 difference in equity. That's what they will let you get with doing that. So theoretically, you may have more money for the value of your home being is $100,000. You owe 50, you have 50 in equity, but the mortgage company is only going to let you take 80% of that anyway. The discussion I want to have, and 80% of that 100,000 is 80. So just kind of keep that in mind. And if you guys look confused or something like that, please, that's what we're here now to have this discussion. Because the problem that comes up is sometimes people, when you have access to money, And it's one thing to sit and say, I want to do this. If I have this money, I'll do that and that. A lot of that is just conversation, because we don't have access to the money. We can say all kind of things that we would do and we wouldn't do, right? But when you have access to it, I'm sitting on this equity. I have an ability to go refinance this, pull some of this equity out, put it in my pocket. Now things change, right? And so what happens a lot of times, people refinance their mortgages at a high amount, and even from a payment perspective, sometimes it may not even, you can refinance your house, pull some cash out. If the rate is a lower rate, you may be paying a lower mortgage, even though you've got a bigger mortgage spread over more terms and at a lower rate. You could theoretically sometimes end up paying less, even though you have a bigger mortgage. That depends on, again, what we look at with the basis of how the loan set up, being with the terms and the rate that's set for it. The thing that I want a lot of you guys to avoid, especially right now, is don't blow that, don't overextend yourself, putting too much equity out, and also be very, very smart when you start dealing with your home equity. Again, guys, it's one thing to sit here and say, hey, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that, and I got plans, but a lot of times if you're not comfortable or used to dealing with money, a lot of times it's easy to make, quote unquote, bad decisions when it comes to money. What I mean by bad decisions is nobody's gonna sit here and blow money on purpose. Nobody will, right? But a lot of times when we have it in our pocket, we get it, we'll sit here and make moves that we think aren't unintelligent. I had a partner of mine. He's supposed to be coming to windfall of money. I don't know if he has or hasn't already, but he told me he was going to start like day trading and everything. I'm like, my undergrad is in finance, and I understand the complexities will come with trading, and also the risks associated with it. Nothing wrong, good or bad, with doing it. But if that's all you got to sit there and say to yourself, is the wisest thing to make somebody move with that money. Long story short, his theory was, I'm not going to invest my money in things that are going to lose money. Well, who the hell is going to do that? Who the hell is going to put their money in the things that are going to lose money with, intentionally? I say all that to say, nobody's going to lose money on purpose, right? So when I hear people say stuff like that, I think you're in a damn fantasy. So when we start talking about, if you got your mortgage and you want to do a cash out refinance, guys, the first thing I would always ask, sit there and think about it. Just make sure you got a plan in place. Not necessarily you have an idea or a plan or idea of what you want to do with it, but a plan in place on how you're going to implement it. Can we start looking at theoretically, what are some of the reasons why somebody may be do a cash out refinance? Again, we're going to refinance this mortgage we got, take some of the equity and put it in our pocket, right? It's not a right or wrong way of doing it, anything like that. It's just theoretically, we want to make sure, again, we're discussing, don't blow the mortgage you have, don't blow the equity you have, okay? We do not want to pull this money out. Now we've spent all this money in the equity that we receive, and now we got this new loan that we're paying on, and not a damn thing to show for it, right? Maybe a couple stores, a little fun trips here and now, but overall, we don't really have a damn thing to show for it. So when you start looking at it, people may say, well, look, man, I got some home repairs I need to make sure you do. We need a new roof. We need a HVAC system. Now, again, we've talked about this before, Mr. Short Dollar. Typically, I recommend using a home equity line of credit. If you can check out some of the videos of Mr. Short Dollar, remember we have the different playlists with financing and stuff. I typically recommend, if you're doing home repairs, to get a home equity line of credit. And the only thing that is that you have access, instead of getting a whole refinance or a whole new mortgage, they're attaching an actual line or a dollar amount where you're looking at the same amount of equity that you have. And that may say, that same example we had before, you have a market value of $100,000, you have a loan of $50,000, you have $50,000 of equity. They may give you a line of credit. You don't have to use the line of credit. If you want to pull 10,000 out of it, 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever, they're just giving you access to your equity. And if you only going to maybe need $5,000, $10,000, He said, really, I don't want to get a whole new loan for that. You can do that home equity line of credit and use that for repairs. I typically would advise people to do that if they're looking at doing repairs on a house instead of doing a whole refinance. But if you're looking at doing a whole cash out refinance, I think it was emergency purposes, want to start a new business, investment, things like that. Guys, make sure, again, you have some kind of plan set in place in regards to, from the implementation standpoint, in regards to what you're going to do. I typically recommend to people, anytime you come into any kind of windfall of money, right, and you know that you're not used to dealing with money. When I say used to dealing with money, I'm saying this. That's not meaning you from an income standpoint, you don't make a lot of money or anything like that. What I mean by, you're comfortable knowing you got hundreds of thousands, or you just say tens of thousands of dollars, usually around you all the time. Even though we say, well, that's not a lot of money, but at the end of the day, if you're not comfortable dealing with it, me being an accountant, I'm used to dealing with, 10, 20, 30, $40 million around. It ain't a lot of money, but I'm kind of numb to it. Usually we see with accountants, it's paperwork to us. It's not our money, but it's paperwork. So we're just kind of looking for damn nickels and dimes and stuff like that. So usually financial people, it's not the same kind of thing where you look at it and you kind of get, kind of bug eyed. We're looking at it. It's just more so like it's just damn work. So it's kind of, you're kind of numb to it. But if you're not used to dealing with that, a lot of times when it happens, it just, again, it's not a dumb person thing. Usually when you get like windfalls of that, you feel like you're a little smarter than what you normally are. And what I mean by that, you say, well, look, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. It's going to be a smart move because you got access to this money that you normally don't do. And that is very, very, very dangerous for yourself, because keep in mind, when you've made some kind of new kind of commitment, be a $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 new mortgage, hell, that shit starting over. And you did it with the thought process of pulling this equity out. Once that equity is spent, you just stuck with a new damn mortgage, right? And nothing to sit here and use it on. Now, if you sit there and say, I'm pulling some equity out, I'm going to buy some more properties. Yeah, people a lot of time with the Burden method, buy, repair, rent, and then refinance and all that kind of stuff. I've seen it. The only issue comes up is, guys, a lot of times, well, it sounds good theoretically, but when you do a lot of refinance, especially you start talking about rental properties and doing that, there are so much other intangibles that go along with doing that. We start talking about from a planning standpoint. If the property that you fixed up to buy and hold and pull equity out, is it going to have sufficient equity in it for you to do that? Theoretically, is the rate that you're borrowing that going to work? All that kind of stuff got to be taken into consideration. But that is a good example in regards to using that equity for doing that, making other investments. You kind of want to make sure whatever you're doing is going to be beneficial to you if you're going to spend it. If you're going to just sit there and hold it, because I can just use myself for example. I was in a situation where I had a lot of equity in my home, but I just tapped into some of it, pulled it, and set it in a little happy place. With that said, I wasn't going to be taken. I wasn't going to go. Again, we said before, they're only going to let you get 80% of it. I wasn't going to put myself in a situation where we dealing with hyperinflation in the market, especially when I mean by hyperinflation, you got all these homes, overvalued right now, and we can honestly be a year from now, the house that is worth $200,000 could be worth $150,000 this time next year because of inflation. The prices are up. I always keep that kind of stuff in mind. Definitely in what stage of the economy, if it's a bear market, bull market, we in a state of inflation, it's a recession. Keep all that kind of stuff in mind when you're acquiring, that property. Right? A lot of times people give you cookie cutter advice. Well, buy this, flip this, sell this, and all that kind of stuff. But in real life, you have a lot of different things going on, especially from an economic standpoint. You're not necessarily going to be in a situation where everything outside of your house is always going to be the same. Again, people, say we've been tinkering on the edge of being in a recession for the past 3 or 4 months, right? We're still with all this tough inflation, with all these prices and everything. You buy a house for $200,000, and you feel like that's the market price for it. But being in a state of inflation, that price drops. so does your inflation. So I'm sorry, the equity that you have in your home drop. But the loan amount stays the same. So with that said, you have to be very, very strategic when we start talking about, using your equity. And my plan to you guys is two things. When you start looking at want to pull equity out and make sure you put yourself in a good position. The first thing is that if you were to take equity out of your home, right? If you take equity out of your home, in the grand scheme of things, you don't put yourself in a position where you're going to be upside down, right? You say, well, D, who the hell going to do that? At the end of the day, there are a lot of homes that, with the prices and the values that went up, and depending on how you do the math and stuff, if the market corrects itself, it will mean adjust, as far as the actual home values now, and we say correction, and from an economic standpoint, it kind of fixes itself where prices may go down and level themselves off. You don't want to be taking so much of that equity where you're upside down. And we see that a lot in with cars. People buy a car for $20,000, but depending on how the terms are on the purchase, they got a loan for $35,000, so they're $15,000 upside down. It happens all the time, right? Especially you turn around and tie another vehicle into that purchase. A lot of people but have cars or car purchases where they're upside down in relation to the market value and what they owe. And that can happen with your home, especially if you have pulled equity out. And you have things like, a recession comes or the market overcorrects and you right at the loan amount and the market right there together, or it drops below that. And it happens. Do I think we're going to have another 2008, 2009 where everything hits rock bottom? And I don't know about that. But I do think there's going to be a significant drop in prices. More than $50,000? I don't think so. I damn sure hope not. But I always kind of keep that kind of stuff in mind when we start talking about dealing with your real estate, especially that home equity, right? You got to make sure that, again, you don't put yourself in a position where you're going to be upside down, with that. You got to make sure that you got to be looking with that, okay? If you got a certain amount, that even if the market corrects, you still got a good cushion and the math works. Because if you say, look, I'm at year 10 of my mortgage. If I turn around and add another 10 years back on it, or I'm even at year 20 with doing it, and I can add a little bit out. The rates are good and everything, and I'm adding a couple more years, maybe 10, maybe 20 more years. And could you say, well, why do that? At the end of the day, I go to that end because I really want to give my example from a financial standpoint, and explain the way I look at it in regards to mortgage insurance and things like that. But when you back to the point we're talking about, just maintaining that equity, guys, you have to make sure that you're very, very careful in regards to not overextending yourself. When you keep yourself, if the market corrects or drop, that home value still doesn't go below with this new amount of the refinance, even though you pull some cash out. The second thing is, what I will recommend, even just doing it, what to do with you or with your cash if you turn to a cash out refinance. If you get any kind of investments, guys, make sure that the return that you have, and it's going back to the interest amount, you're putting yourself in a position where the return that you're going to get, be it another property, that you can get maybe at a discount or lower than normal at market or below market price, the return on it, if you keep it and hold it and the value goes up, or if you sell it, it's going to come at a higher return than what you just bought, right? If then here's the key thing with that. This is where a lot of people get caught up. A lot of people get caught up because they always guessing in regards to what they're going to do with their mortgage and everything. Let me make sure you guys know. Again, I'm Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. Today we having a quick discussion. Don't blow your home equity. I'm streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Y'all feel quiet. I got a quiet show right now. I don't see any too many comments or questions. And if you have any questions outside of what we're talking about, just hold them to the end of the discussion. I'll open the floor up, and I promise you, I answer all your questions for you guys. But again, if you know that you can actually pull equity out and you have opportunities, let's just say, use that example of the 100,000. value. You got a home worth with a loan balance of 50, and you want to pull out maybe $30,000, $40,000. Uh, you can take that if you can buy you maybe a house or two that you know that undervalued, and the value will increase within a couple of years, or you're buying at a discount. I wouldn't be against that. I wouldn't be against that. Everything to me always come down to math. Going to math first, is the math work, then we start looking at the other intangibles, that being the area, the market, things like that. You know, their development around there, good school system, things like that, that will cause everything to work out. That's the way I would look at it. I wouldn't be against it. Okay. So those two things you want to look at it, again, that you don't make sure you don't overextend yourself, pulling too much out. Where if the market corrects, it'll put you upside down. And also, we're looking at where you can actually take that equity and actually grow it. And you got to make sure, guys, if you're not a disciplined person, right? Again, money makes us think that we're smarter than what we are. If you're not a disciplined person, I don't want you to sit here and say, but hey, you can't do it. But you got to make sure you got a proper plan in place. These are the order steps I'm going to take with that money once I got it. That is so, so important, right? Because again, if you're not used to doing it, you can get caught up real quick. Again, we know you just, I hate talking about it. You're saying, well, this PPP and the disaster loan, 2 or 3 damn purchases and your money's gone. Because a lot of times when you get a certain lump sum of money, you think it's going to be there forever. You're like, wow, it's easy. A lot of people say, well, that's not a lot of money. I know what to do with it. A lot of times you know what to do with it. Yeah, it's already happened. That's just being straight up. So seek counsel. Go meet with somebody or go to a couple of seminars. Go, hey, this is how to do, certain investments. If you actually, looking to come to a windfall of money, maybe get you some kind of financial advisor, consultant. But I definitely wouldn't just try to shoot from the hip if I'm not used to dealing with large sums of money. I'm just being very, very honest with you right there. I think that's extremely dangerous because, again, money makes us think that we're a whole lot smarter than what we are. Okay. Now, let me spin something for you guys, right? Because it just had, I was having this discussion the other day because there was some people talking about, why would you get a mortgage, right? From the get-go, right? And I'm gonna do a video on this. Guys, I'm an undergrad in finance, so I'm a numbers nerd. And a lot of times people will say, well, why would I get a mortgage? And for a house for $150,000, we just throwing out numbers, right? Well, I get a mortgage for a house for $150,000, and after 30 years, I've paid $300,000 because of the interest I paid. Right? That's one way to look at it. So I just spend $150,000, and I got my house, and I'm good. This is the thing what you're missing with that, right? This is what a person that doesn't understand numbers or math from the perspective of financing really doesn't get. Keep in mind, the government is going to allow you to, write off that mortgage interest, right? You're already getting that money back, that interest. You're going to get that back. The key is what happened. A lot of people don't do a damn thing with it outside the form of a refund check, right? But if you have a house, right, and you're turning around and say that I got this mortgage and I'm paying X amount each month towards the mortgage, so much is going toward interest, things like that. What behooves you is if you turn around instead of paying, let's say you got a house, I'm just trying to get easy math. Let's say $200,000 house, and your mortgage is $1,000 a month. Just roll with me, guys. Your mortgage is $1,000 a month, and out of that $1,000, because we know when we start a mortgage off, the bulk of that mortgage payment in the first, let's say 15 years is going to interest, right? And as the loan goes, further down the amortization chart, you're paying more toward principal. We know that theoretically. So why, Deonte, would I get this mortgage, pay all this damn interest over the years? Now I paid almost triple. The reason being is because just say if you got this this $1,000 payment each month, and just say $700 is going to interest, right? 7 times 12, 96. Y'all bet I had a long day, right? 7 times 12. Damn. There we go. 84. Lord have mercy. Hey, listen. 84, right? Y'all start laughing. It's been a long day. So we look at 80. That's $8,400, right? $8,400 for the whole year. The thing you gotta look at, that's being discounted. That's being interest. The $8,400 that you're paying in interest that you had, could you make an investment over that same 30-year period, with the money you weren't paying, and make a big return? More than likely, yes, because you're borrowing. Keep in mind, you're borrowing at what, 4, 5, 6%, right? So if you know that that's the rate getting charged, the market yielding a better return than that. I'm not even talking about going out here day trading or anything like that. You can just get you a regular S&P index fund and be, accruing, have your returns over 10-year period, 8, 10, 12%, right? That's just regular history. I'm not trying to tell you go out there doing the stock trading anything out of it. But if you just look at it from a mathematical standpoint, the money that you're paying in interest, right, that you're going to get back when you itemize your tax return, if you just look at a period of time, yeah, you will be paying a lot of interest over the lifespan of the loan. But the opportunity for you to take that same discount and put it in an investment, it could be higher than that, right? But that's just going down to being disciplined, right? Because if you turn around and come out of $150,000 or $200,000 to pay for a home, remember, in finance, cash is king. That money is gone. Right? And most people just don't have that kind of damn money. So just say if you want to spend $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, you say, okay, I used to hear a lot of time growing up, some of the elders in my family, I paid for it, cash money. I went and paid for the whole thing. Yeah, you did. The whole thing about it, you still don't understand. From we started talking, because we I hear it a lot. People want to invest, they want to plan for retirement and do things like that. Because the average person doesn't know what Deonte knows. They ain't got all, they don't have this finance background. So the average person was sitting there looking like, what can I be doing to make my money grow? Because we had no shortage of information on the net. Where people are putting things out where you can buy this and you can have that. That's bullshit. If it were easy for everybody to get, be financially independent and have hundreds of thousands of dollars in their bank account over a short period of time, everybody do it. And I think sometimes only people that make some of these videos probably need to show some damn receipts outside of some house or boat they done rented. But that's another story. So I'm saying what I think, me personally, I always kind of be looking at when you want to spend full dollar amount for anything, car, house, any kind of major purchase, right? Kind of keep in mind with whatever I'm paying on that note, what I'm borrowing, the savings that you have by instead of coming out of the whole thing, because you can take 100,000 and just look at it. What could I be doing if I spend all that money one time at these portions that I'm making these payments, even though I'm paying bulk of it interest? Could I be doing something else at a higher rate? More than likely you can, guys. It may seem like you're paying a lot more over a period with interest, and you are paying that. But the money that you spend instead of coming out at 150, because you come out at that's gone. But if you just coming out at maybe $8,400, $700, so even just $8,000, $12,000 a year, you still have $88,000 that you could be still investing, doing other things with, right? Just kind of keep that in mind. And if that's kind of like confusing now, it's easy for me to think of that way. That's fine. I get it. I always say self-assessment is the most important thing, knowing yourself. But if you can actually get somebody to sit there and holler at you and explain, hey man, meet with a financial advisor and and have some conversations. You don't have to buy anything, you don't have to sell, you have to make the purchases, but just kind of get some kind of advice on different things you could do. Is there a financial advisor going to tell you the best thing or get the best strategy? They probably get the best thing for what they know, but at the end of the day, it's still further along more likely than what you know. You can always, you use Google University, YouTube University, go to your library and stuff and engulf yourself. But most of the time, we got something called life, and you got to be realistic how much time you got to put into yourself to become very, very knowledgeable on certain things. Everybody in this world can do a lot of stuff. I mean, I can build a house from scratch. I'm pretty sure I can put a whole motor together and everything like that. But the time it's going to take me to learn that, do I really have that time or the capacity to understand that process in a certain amount of time for what I want, for the actual task that I want to get done? We got to be realistic about that. You get into a lot of trouble when we try to do everything. We try to get, do all this stuff ourselves because, we feel like sometimes things cost too much, right? I understand a lot of times I get phone calls all the time. What you guys charge for consulting? We charge $210 an hour. I mean, but we're going to give you, 5, 10 times that the value for the advice. Everybody don't see it that way. I understand. That's fine with me. We've been in the tax prep industry over 20 years. And some people may say we charge too much. I get it. But that's our value for what we have. When you sometimes if you don't actually know how the value of certain things, you might say, man, that's too much. That costs too much. But again, you putting a tag on something, but you want a certain return. Got to be realistic about that. And a lot of times, I don't think people are being cheap when they feel like somebody charges too much. I think they're just probably not knowledgeable because they don't deal with it every day. Typically, if you deal with something, you'll know something is overpriced, not just because somebody is cheaper. Because I'm pretty sure anything out here that you can get a hold to, you can get it very cheap. But at the end of the day, if you want value, recourse, security, some kind of fallback, you're going to pay for that, right? That's just something to keep in mind. But again, I want to have that discussion with you guys where we're talking about don't blow your home equity. Make sure, guys, when you have a lot of Google calculators where you can just go in there, mortgage refinance calculator. A good one I use is dinkytown.net, dinkytown.net, Dinkytown. You can Google that. They have a lot of calculators that you can actually do a lot of plug and play. And I will go in there. Let me see if I can put that in. Let me check on my computer right quick. This thing ain't dragging. And I'll put this in the chat. But you can definitely go computer dragging right now, guys. But I'll make sure I get to it. But dinkytown.net, they have a lot of calculators that you can actually do a lot of plug and play in regards to let me see. I got it right here. That's it, dinkytown.net. Let me, if I get this, I'll put this link into the chat. Again, I'm Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. We're having a discussion today talking about don't blow all your home equity. We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn. Too many people contribute to the discussion today. So listen, guys, I just want you guys to make sure, again, use those mortgage calculators. You can go on Zillow and forgot the other place, get somewhat market rates for your particular area, so you can actually do a lot of front end math. That's what we try to do a lot of in finance, where before we make deals. A lot of times people don't want to do that kind of stuff because that makes you accountable. Instead, it gives you an opportunity where you can't say, I don't know, nobody told me. I wish, somebody, no one set me down. All that other BS. I'm telling you where to go. You can go to any one of these places, get your Google calendar. Just put the link for Dinkytown. You guys know on Instagram and TikTok, it's not, on the same stream channel. But if you check out the video on Mr. Short on YouTube, which I do recommend everybody, no matter what platform that you're watching us on right now, go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. That's the main hub. Over 400 videos on Mr. Short Dollar. Got a grant playlist with over 150 grant opportunities. We got a finance playlist, personal finance playlist, entrepreneur playlist, business playlist, and a grant playlist, live shows, videos, everything. Like I said, over 400 videos on the channel. So go to Mr. Short Dollar YouTube, subscribe to the channel. That's the main hub with all this information is. So whatever I'm doing now, everything will be there. But definitely, guys, you can check that out. Get that link for the Dinkytown. But you can go to Google. Just say, I want a refinance calculator. Google it up, pull it up. Go to Zillow or one of those other real estate sites. Get the value of it. You can just plug and play. You can Google Fed rate, bank rate, and see what the current refinance market is for your actual zip code. You plug and play everything, right? Whatever. To the T. You can actually guesstimate, home insurances, but hell, you can go county property tax records, put in the property tax for the year before, maybe go up 1 or 2%, whatever. Everything plug and play, right? You have everything at your fingertips to sit down and make an informed decision. And that's all I preach, you guys, right? You ain't gotta believe Deonte, you ain't gotta believe Joe Blow, this, that. Now I'm giving you the tools, right? Go there, plug and play, put it in. But what I don't want you guys doing is making decisions on how you feel in regards to something and overextending yourself, or taking that equity and it's disappeared because you didn't have proper planning, and then it's gone. Okay. Hey, what's going on, Kelly? Kelly asks, do you recommend a HELOC? And Kelly, you must just came in. We just talked about HELOCs earlier, and that's a home equity line of credit. I do recommend HELOCs, but like I said again, I recommend them on more repairs when you're doing at home, on your home or something like that. If it's good to have, because it's best. I always say, guys, it's best to have and not need, and need not have. If you know that you're going to need the money, or the money maybe have a chance of maybe disappearing, that being the equity, the value going up, and the math works, you can refinance, take some cash out. I was in a situation here. I was going through a divorce, so I had to refinance to get the house in my name anyway. So I couldn't be. I made it a good situation for me, but my hand was already forced, so I had to do it anyway. Fortunately, I know finances, so I was actually able to make a good decision. But in the state, the point of a HELOC, and if anybody just came in late, home equity line of credit, the difference with the actual a refinance of a mortgage, that's a whole new loan where you've taken it. And, you may only be owing $50,000. We have a market value of $100,000. We're doing it for easy math. A market value where people buy your house for being $100,000. They'll give you a new loan for $100,000 with a new payment, new terms, and they'll cut you a check for $50,000. Now, again, keep in mind, guys, we have closing fees, things like that. We're just speaking for easy math. The HELOC, a home equity line of credit, is the same. Theoretically, you owe $50,000 on that home with a value of $100,000. They give you a line of credit of $50,000. And you don't have to make any payments at all if you never borrow from it. But you can take $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $10,000 from it, and then you make payments on that portion of it that you borrow. Typically, if you know that you're going to be doing some repairs around the house, something like that, I get the home equity line of credit, pull from that, do that, make payments, keep it moving. Right? That's one of the things. Let me see this right here. Make the payments from that. But that's typically how I would do that. If you have short-term objectives and you're sitting on that equity, we're doing that. Maybe had to pay for a certain piece of equipment or expenditure on the house. Again, like that, a new HVAC, new roof, things like that. I would recommend using that. Kelly says, yes, I did just drop in. However, I'm looking to pay off credit cards, but don't want to do a personal loan. Well, let me say this to you, Kelly. At the end of the day, great point, Kelly. I want you to hit that link where I got on Dinkytown. Dinkytown has probably about 50 different calculators. And again, to the point, the question was asked, she didn't want to pay off credit card debts, but she don't want to get a personal loan, right? At the end of the day, what makes sense? The math. Because remember, when we pay the credit card, we're dealing with what? Revolving debt. Well, it's turning right. That wheel is turning every month with that rate. More than likely, probably at a higher rate, right? Whereas you get a personal loan, which is usually an installment loan at a fixed rate, at a fixed term. More than likely, I will tell you that if you get a personal loan to pay off your credit card debt, you'll probably end up paying, from a cash flow perspective, less money because you'll have a fixed, probably lower rate. Now, we're throwing in a lot of properties, but it's typically how that will go. You'll have a fixed amount. Now, when you borrow this, this is the key thing. You got to pay those credit cards off. Don't just get the loan and then now I got this loan and I'm going to pay on those credit cards. Pay those credit cards off. More than likely, you're going to be paying less on a monthly basis, right? Because you got it on a term at a lower rate. And typically, if you normally paying $1,000 a month in credit cards, right? Now that's you've condensed that down to a personal loan. Now you're paying only $800. You make even kick that other $200 and reduce that term amount quicker. But go to Dinkytown and see if they should have like credit card. Should I consolidate or personal credit? All those kind of different scenarios. They probably got a calculator on that where you can do again the plug and play. What's the rate that you're paying on these credit cards in relation to the rate for the fixed personal loan? Remember, you're dealing with revolving debt, and then you got, your installment debt. Okay, this is constantly adding and calculating and spinning around each month. That's stuck, right? That's stuck. We start looking at installment debt. That'd be your car notes or any kind of fixed loan and stuff. That's going to be the same every month, right? Fixed over a certain period. these wheels are turning right here and everything. So again, mathematically, it probably will work better if you get a personal loan, pay that off. But you got to be very disciplined with getting the personal loan and paying it off instead of getting a personal loan and paying on it. And now you're paying on both, right? But again, uh, don't just go off what Deonte says. Go to one of those calculators, and if you have any issues with it, again, just make a comment on the video later on. We're doing it, but I'm about 150% positive that you can find a calculator that you can plug this information on. Okay, I got Sonny's DIY space. Got in trouble with a HELOC with my second house because I wasn't diligent and aggressive with paying it off. I had no payments for about 3 years. 3 years snuck up on me. Gotcha. But that goes back to what I'm saying before. I appreciate that comment. And theoretically, what was said was the HELOC. She got in trouble with the HELOC, and because you didn't have to pay on the HELOC, and next thing you know, bam, it came up. A lot of times, and that'd be at discretion how the lender does it. They may say you might need to start making payments before. They may get a delayed payment, and that's from lender to lender on regards to the repayment terms that they give you guys. But you gotta be disciplined. I can give you all kind of tips and tricks and stuff like that, but things you can do. You got to be disciplined, guys. You got to be disciplined. That's one key thing that I think a lot of times people are missing when people are giving advice on the net. A lot of times, a lot of these people, and I've been in business long enough. I don't like talking about other folk business. I don't like talking about other people don't know what they're doing and anything like that. I don't like getting into that because I know how difficult, how hard it is to build your business, to build your brand. But it's a lot of people here don't know what the hell they're talking about. And they're talking on things they heard and definite things they never did. And what I say all that is the key component. A lot of anything that you can do probably have some kind of traction, a way that it can work. The problem come up, will it work for you? If you're not a disciplined person. If you're not the type of person that want to take any kind of risk or anything like that. If you're not the type of person to go out there and seek information and try to get help and get it. And you should beating yourself up about it. Your demeanor is your demeanor, right? The key thing is you got to make decisions and moves that are best for you, right? Let me say something to you. I think it's very hard, especially getting north of 40, to change how you are, right? You can start working out, doing things like that, but just getting a whole new demeanor on certain things, I think that's kind of difficult. And again, it's nothing wrong with that. You just have to plan accordingly to how your demeanor, how your attitude, and the way you move is, okay? What's good for Deonte may not be good for you, right? You got good credit. I don't. I have several kids. You don't. I'm not available to do a lot of other things. My risk tolerance is a certain way. You're the exact opposite. We're not gonna move the same, right? And it's not smart to do that. That's why I don't really, go into a lot of cookie cutter advice, only because of that. Everybody's different, right? What I try to do is direct you and give you the information, and also direct you to different places where you can get other information, and then you can do what? Make an informed decision. Kelly said, thanks so much. I will click the link when it's done. Okay, cool. Yeah, make sure you do that because, again, guys, a lot of people avoid using tools that are out there because, again, everybody don't want to be accountable. Everybody don't want to sit here and say, well, look, I know, I knew I shouldn't have did this. It's very easy for people to say, I didn't know. Nobody didn't tell me, just kind of go and all the other stuff, other books. But we don't need to do that. We want to always be able to make informed decisions. The key, what I want to keep doing with you guys is sending you in the right direction where you can use it and then put the information in. That's the most important thing for me, to make sure that you guys know where to look, okay? So, again, we had this discussion that we talked about, don't blow your home equity. Be smart, guys. I do think that, you're going to have, some market corrections in the next, definitely by the end of the year. Hell, how big a different price will be this time next year as opposed to now, I don't know, but I definitely know there's going to be some market corrections. So you got to be very, very careful. Even with your damn home purchases, you buying a house right now, keep in mind, like, hey, man, look, how much, from the quote unquote value, how much is going to be dropped? I don't think it's going to be anything uncommon for people that bought a home in 2022 to have negative equity in 2023. Now, do I think it's going to stay like that a while? No, I doubt it, but I definitely don't think it's going to be uncommon for a lot of people that bought homes this year to have negative equity in that home, unless you got a crazy deal, right? Unless you got a crazy deal. But you pretty much bought your damn home at market value. Uh, yeah, it's probably gonna happen to you. Probably gonna happen to you because again, I think a house um that you may have bought for $200,000 this year, this time next year, be round by that 185, maybe lower, but at least that 185. I think I'll lose about 15 grand in equity with doing it. Again, and I've seen um, properties I got that were scratching at 4 months ago. They done came around like mid low twos. Hey, one of them uh, went under 200,000. So that's their 100,000 in equity. Should I pull some money out in doing this, that, and that? Hindsight, the best side. But at the end of the day, I don't know how far it's gonna go. It wouldn't. I don't never count deals that I missed out on. Some people say, "Well, hey, man, you stupid for doing it," but it's cool. It might go to the value can drop lower, and I can be SOL. So I don't really trip on that on no particular things. But I will say, guys, be very, very cautious. And again, I did a video about a month or two ago. I would recommend if you want to do any new purchases, not a refinance, wait till at least the end of the year. That's what I'm doing. I got some stuff, man, coming across me now. My real estate agent been sending me some stuff, some good deals. You guys know I'm in the Metro Atlanta area. I've been looking some stuff kind of like in Macon, which is making about 45 minutes an hour south of Atlanta. They got a somewhat growing market because they're putting different things in Macon. Macon is like a city town. It's a city, but it's it's Georgia. Everything's country here. So but it has a growing economy, and there are some deals there. And the damn thing reasonable in Atlanta right now, especially in the city, with doing it. But I'm still kind of just like I don't know. I mean, the thing that you may see for X couple months now will it drop? I don't know. I might miss out, but I'm kind of cool with sticking to my guns with it. Let me see this above all others to thine own self be true. Absolutely. And again, guys, I really want everyone to do a good job of self-assessing yourself. So we start talking about investments and finances. You know how you are, right? When you know how you are, don't beat yourself up because you ain't disciplined, because you're not a good saver, this, that, and that. Use technology, right? You got Google Calendars, Google Alerts, same thing with Apple and all this stuff. Send you reminders and stuff like that. You can get accountability partners. You can get a financial advisor. You can get your financial coach. You have to do something. You have to do something. You got to put some kind of effort out there. But try to do a good job of finding things that can help you adjust your shortcomings, right? That's what I want you guys to understand. Make sure that you can try to find that. Kelly said Griffin has good deals too. Yep, I got a list of stuff coming from Griffin as well. I got a list of stuff coming now. Hey, my family from Pike County, Kelly. Yeah, so that's another city right south of Atlanta. But I want to you guys make sure you're doing a good job of just taking time to make yourself informed and stuff, because you got a lot of crazy stuff going on. Crazy in a good way. With the trading, the fixing, the flipping, and all this other kind of BS going. It's a good thing, right? But you want to make sure you're doing what's the best thing for you, right? What we got right here, right here on TikTok. I'm sorry if I ain't answer you quicker. Yeah, Atlanta getting good deals, even on Peachtree Road. Do I have to live there to buy that? No, you don't have to live anywhere. I don't know if anything good deals. I grew up in the city of Atlanta, on the west side, in the Bankhead area. I got my house I grew up in, and everything and stuff. And I've done stuff on quiet stuff on the west side. Do I think there are good deals on there? I don't know. It just costs too much money, right now for what I want to do. Now, again, that's what I'm saying. What I want to do and what I want to spend, the way my plan works, I'm not going to do it. But that, it could be a perfect thing for you. That's why I say it's very important. Try to get your team together, especially when you start dealing in real estate, man. Get you an agent that you're comfortable with, and you can just let them know your vision, what you're trying to do. If you want to do buy and hold, fix or flip, a little bit of both, you just want to learn, get you a team together. If you can't find an agent that you feel comfortable with and they start talking above your head, get the hell on, go get you another one. But that's the thing. Put yourself in a position where you can get informed and get the right people around you. And that's what we do that with everything. We do that with our mortgage folks. We do that with our financial advisors, our accountants, and stuff like that. I always say, guys, I understand how to get your hand forced. Like I said, I went through a divorce, so I had to do that refi. So some of the stuff was a little bit more rushed, but I was able to still go the way I wanted to go. But ideally, I didn't do everything the way I wanted to do. It worked out great for me. Don't get me wrong. But again, I understand the whole. Sometimes we do get our hands forced, but just be very smart about uh, um, trying to get a proper plan in place. Uh, paper tech TV. I'm a truck. I'm trying to start buying homes. I'm assuming, brother, you saying you're a truck driver. You started trying to buy homes. Same thing. Same thing. Get your team together. Um, if you're working, guys, again, we talked about it a little earlier. This kind of outside of what we talked about with the whole thing of with real estate. If you got a job and you got a family and stuff, you got 24 hours a day, right? Do not put yourself in a position where you're trying to do every damn thing. So you working, you got to spend time with your family, do all this other kind of stuff, and now your ass trying to look up properties. You trying to go to Home Depot. You trying to go this, that, and that. And I get it. It may be cheaper from a cost perspective if you do everything, but it's a whole lot more expensive from a time perspective if you try to do everything, right? The shit that you can pay somebody to do may take a month or so, but the stuff you doing yourself may take 6 months to a year. Nothing wrong with either one. It just depends being realistic what you can or can't do. Okay, but I just want again, we got to be smart about we try to do everything, right? Everything. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I find myself doing well, you know what though, at the end of the day, it go back to what we were talking about earlier. Sometimes you can have a conversation with somebody and they throw a number at you. You're like, man, that's too much damn money. But hell, they might be giving you a good deal, especially if you're not familiar with it, right? You talk to a contractor, well, they'll say I do for $1,000. If you're not used to dealing with it, you're like, damn, it's $1,000 damn dollars. He ain't doing that but turning this and knocking this, that, and that. But I just remember when I was first started dealing with real estate and houses, and I tried to do everything. I never forget, run a house, trying to put a toilet in. I'm laying in water and piss for a whole day trying to fix something. Man, I couldn't take it no more. I got a damn plumber. He was in and out in a damn hour. And I spent a whole day rolling around this little floor. Just, man, listen. But I didn't know. I wouldn't necessarily say I was trying to be cheap or be greedy. In my mind, I was just like, damn, I didn't understand, again, we talking over 20 years ago. I didn't have the whole understanding of time value and things like that. So I'm being transparent with y'all. This ain't nothing, I can kick it with you and just tell you some things, but just talk to you all the time. I can just say, well, look, where I messed up at. See, we got here. I mean, that's why I'm so new to this. And here's the thing about it. That's why the main thing we want to use on this platform, make sure we sharing information. I'm 20-something years in the game, 21 years in game in business. I'm an accountant. I got plenty of damn degrees and stuff on the wall and stuff like that. That's what the old channel is set up. We've been doing this for 6-7 years now with Mr. Short Dollar. So definitely, guys, no matter what platform you're looking at, if you're on TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, that's what we're streaming on right now. Go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Over 400 videos on the YouTube channel. So I've been doing this for a minute, guys. Okay, so that's the main hub. We got different information going on different platforms, but the YouTube channel, that's where all the videos are at. So you got all of them, everything segregated: real estate, personal finance, financing, grants, entrepreneur, all business. All those videos are segregated different lists. So you just got a particular thing you want to look at, go check it out for free. Do we do personal consultations and all that stuff? Yes. Again, go there for free first. If you don't see what you need, then you can give us a call, right? I've been in business long enough. I'm cool. That's why I can do this for people. Go check that out first. Go to the YouTube channel, subscribe there, look through all that great information there. If you don't see your question answered, then you can give us a call, okay? But again, that's there for free, okay? And take advantage of it, okay? I'm locked in on you. I might need your service when I'm buying a home to provide me with info. Hey, lock us in. Go to YouTube channel, lock us in and stuff. Got you covered right there, man. And I appreciate all the love and support. But listen, guys, I'm finna get ready to get out the broadcast right now. I got another YouTube channel, guy. One disclaimer: Changing Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden, where we talk about motivational family stuff and everything like that. I probably do a live feed with that later. But if you can Go on YouTube. I'm on I'm on all the different platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and all that. If you look up Changing Lives, and even on YouTube, it's Changing Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden. You see a little blue man logo and stuff. We got over 400 videos on that YouTube channel. Between the two channels, it's close to close to 2,000 videos. We have even with all the different platforms, not close to 2,000, but over 800 videos with that. Hey, y'all gotta bear with my math been off like hell today. I had a very, very rough morning. It was cool, but your boy had a rough morning, so I know I've been throwing out some of my math. A lot of it's been off, man. But y'all, please forgive my heart in the right place and stuff. But definitely go to the YouTube channel, check it out. But in the discussion we had today, again, just recap everything. Don't blow your home equity. Guys, remember, be very, very smart about it. Make plans about what you're going to do with it. Not ideas. Have a damn plan. Like, I'm going to take this and invest in this, do that. Have it already broke out. So when you get it, if I know I'm going to get a check for $50,000, I know 10 is going here, 10 is going there, da. You know that, right? Not you just get it. And, because again, once you get it, trust me, you're going to mess up something. Have your plan set prior to, right? And then once you receive it, you can go from there. We know plans, what they adjust because things happen, right? You got the price went up, the price went down, da. Market change, whatever, you don't have availability, get it. But you got to have some kind of structure in place prior to you receiving it. It happens too often. People get checks, spend it again. Don't get it to pay off credit card debt, anything like that, and then you turn around and get the check, and now you want to go shopping, you go take care of it later. Or whatever, somebody gave you a deal, you done ran your damn mouth, let folks know that you got some money, now everybody coming to you with a deal and stuff like that. It don't just happen to athletes. It happens to people, income tax time, refinance time, inheritance time. Everybody know when you got something, everybody gonna come to you with an idea. Keep it building to yourself. That's a change of life advice. But definitely with that said, be smart enough to have everything thought out and broke out, okay? I always want to make sure that I really take emotions out of having with money. How you feel, what you care, what you think. Damn it. What you know is what you see. Math is a true science, right? 1 + 1 is 2, right? We can't get around it. But when we start going into, I think I can do this, I hope I can do this, we're going to pray on this. I'm telling you, you have yourself in a bad way, right? Make sure you do proper plan. That's the best advice I can give you guys, okay? Go to Dinkytown, check out those calculators. Y'all can just, go there now and just take advantage of the information, do a lot of plug and play stuff. I mean, they have information just on retirement and savings, things like that. But you can go on the YouTube channel. I got tons of videos on how to break out retirement and savings and things like that as well. So I definitely, wish you guys the best of luck. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I really enjoy the conversations and everything. But probably another feed later on, Change Your Lives. Maybe I want to miss a short dollar later on as well. But love you guys. Be safe. Appreciate the support. Oh, one thing, guys. We're stuck at 24,600 subscribers on the YouTube channel. If you can, we want to get at 25,000 before the end of the month. If you can, go to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel, share the YouTube channel. Also, yesterday, I forgot this. We just introduced, we got over 150 grant opportunities on Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Over 150, right? Constantly, right? We just introduced a new $10,000 grant for entrepreneurs. A new $10,000 grant for entrepreneurs. And that one, I think, expires on September 26th. We still got, I think, the 2 grants. One expires on the 16th of this month. What is that? A Friday. The Thursday, Friday, I think. And another one again. Guys, it's time. And we have some recurring grants that are going that are constantly renewing each month, especially for female entrepreneurs. Guys, go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube, man. It's a ton of information. Now, subscribe to the channel, take advantage of the information. Getting a little hoarse now, they're gonna wet and whistle and everything, but I had a blast, man, rapping with you guys. Y'all take care of yourself, be safe, love you, and feel free again. Now, one last thing, on the YouTube and Facebook videos, all the contact information is there. So the LinkedIn, the other social media platforms, from Facebook, Instagram, even the office number, if you want to book appointments, all of that stuff is in the description section of the videos on Facebook and YouTube. So again, if you want contact information, go to the YouTube channel, and every video in the description section, you'll see contact information. All the social media, my business, Majestic Business Services, we celebrate 21 years in business this year. Contact information to get to the office and everything. All that information is there. So you go to the YouTube channel, every video description section, you'll see everything there. So if you have something run across your mind later, feel free to reach out to us there as well. Okay, take care of yourself, guys. Love you. Be safe, and talk with you soon. Peace.